Hey folks, this is Coco again from Texas. I had a request from a friend for one of his friends to put together a video that really starts at the very beginning for someone who has never done anything with a digital audio workstation, a DAW as they call it. And this is really great because a lot of people who play music, maybe guitars or pianos, they want a way to record themselves. And it's really great to sort of ease your way into music production in a way that you really couldn't do before. One, because some of the computer technology did not exist. Also, some of the software didn't exist. I like to do music production. So what I'm going to do is explain to you uh, how you can use Cubase Elements 15 or one of the higher versions of Cubase to really get into this music production on your computer. You're going to need some level of hardware, and we'll sort of step through that as we go forward. The first thing I want to talk about is what is a digital audio workstation. Oh, a digital audio workstation, and I'm going to put some images here, is really a replacement for these gigantic setups that used to exist. Muscle Shores, places in Los Angeles, where musicians would go to record their music, and then there would be editing done on the music to finally come up with a track that could be released. The beauty of DAWs nowadays is that you can do all of this on your own computer. A lot of the DAWs that are out there, including Cubase 15, are relatively easy to learn. Modern DAWs require a certain set of hardware in order to run. Some of the older computers probably won't run it as good, but the more modern laptops, the Mac Minis, anything that has fairly high storage of in the gigabytes for RAM, and for the gigabytes for the actual storage of information of these audio tracks that you generate. It's important to make sure that whatever DAW you're using, and especially if you're using Cubase 15, make sure that some of the hardware that you choose is appropriate in order to run that, because it will be a better experience. I'm currently running a Mac Mini M4. The other thing that you're going to need is what's called an audio interface. An audio interface is a device that enables you to bring the audio input in from a guitar, say an electric guitar or a microphone, and get that into your computer system and into Cubase so that it actually can be recorded. That's an important thing. There's a lot of different audio interfaces out there. I happen to think that the Zoom series is very good. Steinberg, who is a subsidiary of Yamaha and the owner of Cubase, has their own brand too. They're a little more pricey, but they are guaranteed to work. But it's essential that you have some kind of audio interface in order to make this work. So let's go ahead and continue on. I'll go ahead and bring up Cubase, and we'll start talking about some of the basic features of Cubase 15. Okay, folks, we'll continue on now with just a general orientation of Cubase Elements 15. And this is very similar to what you're going to see in the higher versions of Cubase also. When you first open up Cubase Elements 15, what you're going to get is this, what they call is the hub. It essentially is a file manager for all the projects that you create. And below that, you have templates, which give you preset layouts for different types of music. Very, very helpful, especially if you're at the beginning of your DAW journey. What we're going to do first of all is we will open up just a blank template. This is one that I created, and it essentially has just guitar and bass on it. Let me just spread that out a little bit. Okay, you can see what's on here, and we'll talk for a minute about what is on here. Essentially, what you have with Cubase Elements 15 and essentially any other DAW is that you have a project layout screen. Everything is oriented in linear fashion, so everything moves when you're recording tracks along a horizontal line, usually to the right. And what that means, and I'll make the indicator move. What that does, it helps you to keep time, because at the very top of this, you'll notice that this is in beats, or not beats, but in measures. Most music is in measures. You can change that to a time. Time is actually shown at the very bottom. So I'm at the 5 second time. Some other things that is the tempo of the particular blank template that I have here. These are some of the instruments that are assigned to it. We have an electric piano. This is a virtual instrument that is very common, that uses MIDI. Vocal tracks, which obviously you would use a microphone connected through your audio interface in order to generate sound and to record sound within this particular project. There's a track for guitars that you might have set up with some plugins, and that's more an advanced thing where you have effects that are connected to your guitar virtually, like chorus, distortion, fuzz face, that kind of stuff. But essentially everything always moves in a linear fashion. What I'll do now is I will bring up another project, one that has actually been fleshed out here, and this is from a song that I did a while back. And you can hear the vocals on this one has already been activated. So let me turn that off for a second, get a little less reverb. But like I mentioned before, everything done in Cubase is done in a linear fashion. This particular is a mix down of a bunch of instruments and some singing. And what I've added here is a MIDI track that is using a capability within Cubase 15 for Groove Agent, which is a drumming track. Let's go back to the beginning and let me turn on the mix of the instruments, and you can get a sense of what happens. Everything's moving in a linear fashion.
Well, it's not far down to Austin, at least not for us.
And you can see how the Groove Agent and the MIDI track with the drums that I've set up is actually playing in time with the mix. Okay, let me stop that for a second. Okay, now let's go back. Let me turn on the vocals, and I'll show you how to record a vocal track. I have a microphone connected up. I have an SM57 that's connected to my audio interface. That's what I'm speaking to you now. But when I hit the vocals plugins, what I'm going to get is a little reverb, because I've added reverb. And you can see how on the particular track and I just selected that so that it would highlight itself and grow bigger. I have the audio track being picked up, and I've set myself a level. Now, it's important to remember that the gain of an audio track, and that's either from a guitar or through a microphone, is done by the audio interface or by the mic or the guitar itself. Cubase does not set the gain. It only sets the relative levels between individual tracks. So that's an important thing to remember. You can set the relative level by turning on what's called the inspector tab, and you can set the levels, and I'm going to adjust the one for this particular vocal. You can see that it goes up and down as I manipulate that. Let me zoom in a little bit, that way you can get even more sense of the bars. Okay, so we ready? Let's go ahead, and I will hit the record button over here in the transport bar down here, which has forward, start, and record. Did you see how it turned red? And I'm recording my voice now over the top. And that's how you do this. I've added some reverb effects. And that's how you build up a track, either through adding guitar, adding more vocals, or drums, or other virtual instruments through MIDI. And a chance to leave the herd. We're headed south to where the grass is green. So we heard trucking takes me away to where I always knew you could be. That's my singing. Anyway, this is a lot of fun. I hope that you'll stay with it if this is your first time with a DAW. It's a lot of fun, and you'll have a good time in building your own musical tracks. It is a lot of fun. So hopefully this helped you. Watch some of my other videos where I go into more in depth about some of the other nuance and capabilities of Cubase Elements 15. But with that, we'll catch you later on.